Well, it's nice to wake up feeling like a free man every day now. Wow. I didn't expect that. I had a decent feeling that he would win. Um, but it happened. You know, I think people are just so friggin' pissed off. They had enough of it. Enough of uh, police being victimized and looking like, and having sympathy for criminals. I mean, all ass backwards shit. And all these refugees coming in, people pouring across the border, living here, doing whatever they want. And that's nothing. That's just, I mean, the Iran deal. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just one horrible thing after the other. And then on top of that, the person that might have been president was the most corrupt criminal in U.S. history, almost became president. And the people that don't believe it, I don't understand where they're living. They don't pay attention. I don't get it. So I'm happy. I woke up and I look at my guns and I'm like, I feel like they're mine now. Before I was like, man, I love this gun, but what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this friggin' law passes? What if it stretches over and eventually gets to Pennsylvania and we can't carry anymore? I was just constantly thinking about all this shit every day, and you cannot enjoy your passion, your hobby, your shooting sport at all because of these scumbags that are trying to run our lives. So, congratulations to my man. I'm very proud. And, give him a chance. If you hate his guts, give him a chance, okay? I bet you he gets more done than that fucking guy did in 8 years. Okay? I don't normally get political in my videos, but I think this is an exception. When people argue with me about Obama, well, he did this and he did that, and I'm like, okay, but he's been in there for fucking 8 years. That's it? That's all he did? I said, let me go down the list of the things that he fucked up. So, I hate getting into this stuff, but it's true. It's true. Another thing I was worrying about is, my new holster business I've been doing. I was worried about that. I'm like, maybe I was being extreme, but it's all linked together. I'm like, wow, I finally found a little side business that gives me some decent income. So I can support my gun hobby that I love so much. But maybe that's going to, if certain rules pass, certain laws pass, it's going to affect my holster business. It's going to affect my YouTube channel. What if they take my YouTube channel down and say, no more gun videos? That almost happened. That almost happened a couple years ago. They didn't want gun videos on the internet anymore. You ain't got to worry about it no more. It's done. It's our turn. You had your 8 years. You did nothing. Now it's our turn. And hey guys, thanks for getting out there and voting. And it was tough, but he did it. It was amazing what that man did. So I am very pleased. Okay, so that's the reason why the start of the video anyway. I wanted to show you a few things. I brought my AR down here because every time I looked at my AR, I figured that was the first thing someday, maybe, if things got crazy, I would have to either register it or hand it over or whatever. Just, I don't know if I'd actually would do that, but the worry was there and it made it very uncomfortable to enjoy the hobby, okay? So now it's just like more than a weight lift off your shoulders. It's incredible. It's an incredible feeling. It really is. So that's why the AR is down here, because I wanted to make that point. I want to show you it anyway because you guys haven't seen it in a while. And that's my Colt 6920. That is my baby. I love that thing. The holsters are doing really well. I'm going to show you around the basement how I do it. I'm not going to do a video making it. I'm just going to show you the stuff that I have. Maybe someday I will do a video making it. I learned a lot from YouTube, and the guys on YouTube that make the holster how-to videos. I learned a lot from, you know, a guy I work with, Roger. He told me gave me a lot of good ideas to speed things up. But my goal is to make the holster look like, you know, it's store-bought. And they're starting to look like that to me. It looks like it's coming out of a package. I don't want it to look like it was made in your basement. Okay, it's starting to look, you know, very symmetrical. Everything's even, everything's in the center. A lot of problems I was having when I first made them was getting the top of this to be nice and straight. It would kind of go straight and then kind of wave a little, but thank God for these guys on YouTube, these little tricks they show you. I found out how to correct that. It comes with doing it too. You got to get a feel for it, you know, how hot to get it, when the right time to do things. So it takes time. You can't just make a holster. You can, but to make one refined, it just takes a while. So they're starting to look, to me, they're starting to look really good. So that, to me, that's very acceptable. I try to look for things that I can improve all the time. And it's starting to go away. I'm not seeing anything anymore that doesn't look right. So it's going good. That's the little inside the waistband for a Glock 43. And then here is an outside the waistband. I use this for work for my Glock 19. I got the Raven style wings on there. These are great. They look great. And it's easier to get on and off your belt than the flat wings. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. But this was made with the vacuum press. And why I like the vacuum press is because most of the gun sticks out on this side. Very small percentage of the gun sticks out on this side, which brings the whole gun in closer to your body. Nice curve. This is 060 Boltron. There's really no need to use 080. I really don't see a purpose for it, because for some reason, once you get your eyelets in and your rivets in and put it together, it's nice and stiff and strong. So I just don't use 080. I have a sheet just in case somebody would like 080, but I mostly use 060. Okay, so there that is. That came out pretty good. And that's for my Glock 19, is my work gun. So, as far as me taking orders online, still not doing that yet, man, because I just, you know, I don't think I'd be able to keep up by myself. It takes a while to make a holster. I don't want to do that because I don't want people waiting and getting aggravated because they ain't got their holster yet and all. It's just not set up for that kind of volume. Not yet, anyway. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, but I still got a little bit to learn yet. You know what I mean? So, I just wanted to show you my HK Tactical VP9. This thing's running great. The only thing with these is that every time you're done shooting, you got to, you know, check your threaded barrel. Make sure that sucker's tight, because it will wiggle loose sometimes. You can put a little blue Loctite on it, but I don't know. I mean, every time you clean it, you got to take it off. So it's never come off. It's just gotten loose. So I don't know what I made. Maybe a little dab of Loctite on there of blue, just to keep it from coming off. But if you're a guy that cleans your gun a lot, like every time you shoot it, that's going to be a pain, Loctiting it every time. But these guns, you know, they don't have to be cleaned every time you shoot them, especially the HK level firearms. Out of all the HK handguns, this is the easiest one to shoot accurately. I've had it before. I got it back again because I missed how beautiful the trigger was. And then when I got it back again, they came out with this new tactical one, and I just said, that's just so beautiful. I got to get that. So it's running great. Eats everything I throw at it. Everything. Doesn't care. It's just like a Glock. It just runs, runs, runs. I'm very, very happy with it. I like the medium back strap on the back. That makes me hold the gun the most level. When I put the skinnier one on, I tend to hold the gun on a different angle. So that's what you got to find out. But they give you 3 different sizes. So I just wanted to show you this to show you I still have it. It's running good. It was a great purchase, and I'm glad I bought it. It's got a great ergonomics, and the trigger is just It's a beautiful trigger. God, it's a nice trigger. So that's why I showed that. My 6920. This is like my celebration due to the election. Okay. All clear. This Colt runs phenomenal. I love how I have this one set up. A friend of mine gave me the idea to put this up here. I didn't like it at first, but now I love it up there. I love it up there. It's not sticking out on the side. It's just below the front sight, so when you look through the aim point or look through your iron sights, it does not obstruct your way. You don't even see it. It goes right through, doesn't get in the way, and it's not a problem there. Makes the gun more compact. Everything's nice and tight. I painted it because it was a Streamlight, you know, and it didn't really match, and it had that chrome silver ring around it, which I can't stand that. So I painted it with Rust-Oleum black, and it looks great. It looks just like a, what do you call it stuff? Parkerized color. Perfect. I mean, it matches the gun perfect. But it looks better. So this Streamlight system here is beautiful. It's a sensor switch. It has momentary. It has strobe. It's got everything. It's nice and bright. It's got everything you need. It's very tough. So this is a Geissele trigger, and it's phenomenal. But the bolt is the Colt. All the springs are original. I do have a tungsten T2 buffer inside the buffer tube. Okay, so I did a few things internally. And I'm happy with it just the way it is. I'd like to someday maybe get some kind of better muzzle brake on there. This has got your typical bird cage. It's nice, it works, but it's just it's alright. You know what I mean? I think the Gamma 556 is a good option. That's a good one. I love the A2 front sight. I love them. I love that. Oh, and I also put a Bravo charging handle, which is a must. If you get an AR, that is a must. Trust me, you will be glad you did it. It's just so slick. It's really, really nice. This has about, I don't shoot it a ton, but I shoot it. Maybe 800 rounds to it at best. But this Geissele trigger is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Wow. That's incredible. So that's it. Just wanted to show you that, and I'm going to show you where we do the holsters, where it happens. Hold on. I got a basement, but it's really, really small. But this is where it all begins. This is where it starts. I start here on top of the friggin' dryer. Right, I know. I got no room in here. I start there, and I cut my sheets. I pretty much like 8x8s. They seem to be the best size for me to do this. Some people use like 6x6. I don't even know how they do that. I guess it's for a little gun. But I just stick with 8x8 squares. I cut them on here with the square and a straight edge. And then what I'll do is I'll bring it over here and throw the little 8x8s in that little carrier there. And okay, this is all Harbor Freight crap. Believe it or not, it's all working. It all works. It's not good, but it all works. So this sander is getting tired. If I push on it too hard, it stops. So I'm probably going to have to upgrade this soon. But I've been using it now for ever since I started. I don't even know how long I've been doing this. 6 months maybe. So I mean, it's working, but I'm going to have to put out the more money and get a better one, get a good one. The scroll saw seems to be doing okay, and I got that at Harbor Freight. It was very reasonable. I think it was like 60 bucks. The buffing wheel. Then here's the buffing wheel. You got the Sissel wheel, which I've seen on Filster's video. That thing is amazing. Saves you a lot of time. And this is the buffer wheel. That's for when you're all finished. Make it nice and shiny and comfortable around the edges. This is a Harbor Freight motor. it works great. I mean, I use it every day, all the time, and it seems to be fine. Now over here is where I really put some money out. This is the old-fashioned shit. This was the old-fashioned style of using the press and the foam, the clamps, which I do still use. I'll tell you why in a minute. But I don't have to use it as much, and it takes really long when you use that stuff. You know, it takes very long. You got to put it in the press. You got to let it sit there for 15 minutes, and you're waiting and waiting. So there's not a new system. To me, it's new. There's a better system out there called a vacuum press, and that's what I did. I bought the vacuum press. Here is a drill press that I got from Harbor Freight. This was only $45. You believe that? It works great. It really does work great. It's got a nice strong motor. It's got real high RPMs. You can precisely drill really nice holes with it, and it makes a difference. It really does. And back here is where you put the rivets in and the eyelets, whatever you want to call them, with that little press there. So here's the thing that costs money. I went out and I bought one of these. Well, I got it delivered to my house. This is a heat press, and it's for doing iron-on shirts. So a lot of guys are using it for Kydex now. In my case, Boltron. I like Boltron. I just think it looks better. And they're expensive. This is about $400, but I turn it on and I let it get up to like 350 degrees. The hotter you get it, the more definition you get. I don't want to go too hot, but 350 seems to be working really well for me, and this speeds it up. So instead of a toaster oven and waiting at least 10 to 15 minutes by the time the friggin' stuff gets hot enough before you can take it out of a toaster oven, now I only have to wait 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Done. So what I do is I put it in there, and then I bought this vacuum pump. It's a very good vacuum pump. This was over $300 just for the vacuum pump. So you got 4 and 3 here already. The vacuum pump is very, very powerful. You have to hook up the lines and the fittings and everything, and it works good. It works great. Okay, and then here's the vacuum press. There's the membrane. The only thing, the membranes are $50 every time you got to replace them. They're expensive. They last pretty long. I put a hole in my last one because I was being retarded, so I had to buy another one. But if you know how they work and you know what you're doing, they last a long, long time. But my advice to you, if you're going to get one of these styles, always have an extra membrane on hand. Buy 2 of them. Now here's the press, and what I do is get the Kydex from there, bring it over to here, lay it on here, bring this down, turn the pump on, and it sucks it all around the mold. Now when you're using the vacuum press for inside holsters anyway, these are called split boards. These son of a bitches are a lot of money, but they save you a lot of time. A lot of time. So, you know, it used to take me 40 minutes to make a holster. Now I can make one in like 20. Tops. I might be able to make one in 15. Now, I mean, it just saves you so much time. It's such a great invention, whoever came up with this, you know, idea. But the problem is, these are great, but they're very expensive. They're $70 a pair. A pair. You know how many of these I need? I need a ton of them. So that's what I've been doing with my YouTube, my AdSense money, you know, for my videos. I use that money to buy, they're called split boards. Every month I'll buy 2 or 3 pairs of them. But once I get all these, a lot of them, it's going to make it a lot easier. If I don't have a split board for a gun that I'm making, I have to do it the old-fashioned way. Use a blue gun and use the press. And it doesn't come out as nice, and it doesn't look as nice. It comes out okay, and it works, but it doesn't look as good or fit as well. And it's more work, and it takes more time. So that's it, man. I just wanted to show you all that, and there you guys are probably wanting to see that. Here's my Flyers flag. And there's all the blue guns. Look at that, so organized. I gotta get them all organized. And there's the split boards. I just got this one. If any holster makers out there are watching this one works really good, but the problem I'm having with it, there's too much space in between here. It's too wide. So it's leaving a lot of excess, so the gun won't fit super snug. So I might have to cut that down the middle, take a 1/4 inch out of it, and then squeeze it together more. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think that's why the guns don't fit super good with that. That sonbrooch was like 80 bucks. So, and that's pretty much it, guys. Figure I never showed you that before, so now you know what's going on. My M11A1, I still have that. It's running great. My HK USP, because you guys know I trade guns in a lot. I don't keep them long. My HK USP, I still have that. I got my Benelli M4. I've had that a while. There are certain guns I will not get rid of. That's for sure. So I'm reluctant to do a gun collection video because of the government. I was really like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to lay all these guns out and show my whole collection because of how anti-gun the government is. They're so anti-gun, and I don't understand it because they're breathing down people's necks that ain't going to do anything bad to begin with because we follow all the laws. You know what I mean? I know I'm preaching to the choir, but there's new people watching. So I just didn't want to bring a lot of attention by doing a full gun collection video. Now that things feel a little bit more secure, maybe I will, but I'm still a little hesitant to do it. Alright guys, this is just a bullshit video. I'll talk to you soon.